Have you ever felt like you're falling behind in life? Falling behind with money, falling behind in your career, or even in your love life? Around you, everyone seems to be moving so fast. Friends already have solid careers, people you know are getting married, coworkers are showing off their new apartments. Meanwhile, you're still stuck, not even sure where you stand. That feeling isn't just yours. It's so common that sometimes we think being left behind is like a sickness of our time. But is that really true? Or are we just looking at our lives through a distorted lens? In this video, I'll take you on a journey to change the way you see yourself. I'll help you understand where that falling behind feeling really comes from, and more importantly, how to let it go, so you can move forward with clarity, confidence, and real joy. If you've ever asked yourself, am I living someone else's life instead of my own? Then this video is for you. And we'll start right at the root of the problem. It comes from a daily habit so familiar that you don't even notice it. Part 1. The psychology of comparison. Why do we keep comparing ourselves to others, even when we know it brings nothing but pressure? When you scroll through social media, it's easy to spot someone your age living what looks like a dream life. Maybe it's a friend showing off photos on a yacht in Miami, or a coworker announcing their promotion at a big tech company like Google. That feeling is familiar, right? But often, behind those posts are carefully chosen snapshots, not the full story. This kind of display feeds a culture of comparison, making you feel like you're losing at life. The truth is, this isn't all your fault. In psychology, there's a concept called social comparison theory. Over 50 years ago, psychologist Leon Festinger pointed out that people naturally compare themselves to others to figure out where they stand. In other words, your constant habit of checking other people's lives is basically a built-in instinct in your brain. Social media platforms are designed to only show you people's best moments, promotions, luxury trips, picture-perfect relationships, while hiding their struggles. You don't see the sleepless nights, the self-doubt, or the failures. What you're really doing is comparing your unedited life to someone else's perfect highlight reel. And usually, there are two types of comparisons. Upward comparison, looking at people who are richer, smarter, or more successful. It might motivate you, but more often it just makes you feel small and inadequate. Downward comparison, looking at people who are doing worse. It might give you temporary relief, but it never lasts. You end up right back in that same loop of insecurity. Take Casey Neistat, a YouTube star with millions of followers. His videos show epic adventures and a life that seems flawless. But in a podcast, he admitted that he also struggles with anxiety and often feels like he's not doing enough, even with all his success. If even Casey feels this way, it shows that social media never tells the whole story about anyone. Our mistake is believing those perfect posts reflect reality, then blaming ourselves for not being like that. I've done it too, scrolling through my feed asking myself, why am I not there yet? We think comparing will push us to work harder. But the truth is, constant comparison just eats away at your confidence. It turns your journey into a never-ending race, where every step forward feels overshadowed by someone else's achievements. You keep feeling behind because you're running on someone else's track, by their rules, thinking you have to win. But how could you ever win a race that was never yours in the first place? Now you see, comparison is a natural human instinct. And worse, today's social media has amplified that instinct more than ever, making the weight of it harder and harder to carry. Part 2. The social media illusion and the comparison game. Comparison itself isn't new. Back in the day, our grandparents compared too, like when the neighbor got a new motorbike while they were still riding an old one. But the scope of comparison was small, just a few people around the neighborhood or at work. Today, it's completely different. Just by opening your phone, you're suddenly standing next to hundreds or even thousands of people your age who all look more successful than you. And your brain, already wired to compare, can't tell the difference between a real neighbor and some stranger across the world in the US. All it knows is you're losing in some kind of race. What's worse is that social media doesn't just accidentally show you those shiny moments. Its algorithm is designed to push the stuff that grabs your attention. Vacations in Hawaii, fancy birthday parties, graduation photos from Harvard or Stanford. These highlights get shown again and again until you start to believe that everyone around you is living a perfect life. In reality, it's just a super edited slice of a few people's lives. Imagine walking into an exhibition that only shows trophies and gold medals. You'd see endless wins, but no one leaves behind their bad grades, failures, or the tears backstage. And yet you bring your entire unedited life record and compare it to that trophy-only showcase. Of course, it's hard not to feel like you're losing. The problem isn't just the images, it's the cycle they create. You see someone happy, then you feel less. To prove yourself, you post your best photo. Then someone else sees it and feels like you have it all. And the loop of comparison, showing off, and insecurity keeps multiplying non-stop. Science backs this up. In 2018, the University of Pennsylvania did a study. Students who cut their social media time down to 30 minutes a day reported much lower levels of depression and loneliness. That shows the issue isn't that your life is bad. It's that you're looking into a distorted mirror, built to magnify other people's highlights and make you feel small. Comparison has always been an old instinct in our brains. But social media, with its global reach and algorithms, has turned that instinct into an endless spiral. The deeper you get pulled in, the easier it is to believe you'll always be left behind. We can't erase the instinct to compare, and it's hard to quit social media completely. So what's the only choice left? In the next part, you'll discover practical and simple solutions that can truly change the way you see yourself. Part 3. Escaping the game you never signed up for. We've just seen how social media amplifies our natural instinct to compare, turning it into a never-ending spiral. You look at shiny moments, compare them to your real life, and end up feeling like you're behind. Over time, it's not just the posts or status updates that drain you. You start to feel like your whole life is falling behind. The cost of this spiral is heavy: stress, burnout, low self-esteem, and losing joy in the present. And here's where most people get stuck. They think the only way to stop feeling behind is to run faster. Work harder, make money faster, prove they're worth more. But the faster you run, the more exhausted you get, and the finish line just keeps moving further away. So what's the real solution? It's not running faster. It's not proving yourself to others. The answer is in changing how you approach daily life and learning to accept yourself. Researcher Kristin Neff, a pioneer in the field of self-compassion, showed that when you treat yourself kindly instead of harshly, you don't become weaker. In fact, kindness gives you the strength to keep going. Sounds simple, but it's not easy. When you feel left behind, you might think, if I accept myself now, won't I stop trying? Not at all. Accepting yourself doesn't mean giving up. It's a growth mindset. You value yourself on the journey, even if you haven't reached the destination yet. One simple way to start is by practicing gratitude. Every morning or before bed, write down 3 things you're thankful for. For example, I had a good meal today. I still have eyes to see the world. A friend texted to check in on me. Small as they sound, studies show that regular gratitude practice reduces stress and boosts lasting happiness. Think about J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she lived on welfare and was rejected by many publishers. But instead of drowning in the thought that she wasn't good enough, she accepted herself and kept writing. In the end, her persistence turned her passion into one of the biggest success stories in the world. Another step is redefining success on your own terms. Instead of using society's standards, money, fame, followers, ask yourself, what truly matters to me? For some, success might be having a healthy body. For others, it's quality time with family, or simply waking up each morning with peace of mind. Once you define your own measure, you stop playing in someone else's endless game. At the same time, give yourself breathing space. Set limits, say 30 minutes a day for social media. Instead of grabbing your phone right after waking up, try 10 minutes of meditation or a short walk. Sometimes what you need isn't more information, it's more silence to reconnect with yourself. Remember, you don't have to win someone else's race. The only thing that matters is whether today you moved one small step ahead of the person you were yesterday. Escaping the falling behind trap isn't about speeding up, it's about learning to move at your own pace. And when you do, you'll realize you were never behind, you were just on a different path. But here's an even bigger truth. Life isn't a straight line. There is no single standard timeline that everyone must follow. So if life isn't linear, what does that really mean for you and me? Let's explore that in the final part. Part 4. Life isn't linear. We're often taught that life has a standard timeline. Go to college at 18, get a stable job after graduation, settle down before 30, buy a house by 40, and have a solid career by 50. But the truth is, life doesn't follow a straight line like that. Look around and you'll see plenty of stories that prove it. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter after 30, while unemployed and raising her child alone. Colonel Sanders started KFC at 65, when most people thought his life had already run out of chances. Thousands of others failed in business at first, only to come back later and achieve huge success. If life were linear, would we even have these inspiring stories? Life isn't a straight highway. It's more like a road trip. Sometimes you turn left, sometimes right, sometimes you pause, sometimes you circle back. And it's those unexpected turns and stops that make your journey uniquely yours. What does that mean? It means there's no universal ruler to measure whether you're ahead or behind. The only ruler that matters is the one you set for yourself. Instead of asking, "Am I keeping up with others?" ask, "Am I taking one small step forward compared to yesterday?" Instead of thinking, "I'm 30 and don't own a house, I must be behind," try asking, "What really matters to me right now?" Maybe it's health, maybe it's family time, or simply waking up with peace of mind. Here's another example. Someone might start college late, begin their career at 30, but then hit their stride and achieve what they wanted by 40. Another person might succeed early, but then switch careers at 35 to find real joy. Neither is falling behind. They're just on different journeys, and both are valid. Think of life like a jazz song. It doesn't follow rigid rules. You can't always predict the next note, but the surprises and improvisations are what make it beautiful. Your life is the same. It doesn't have to match anyone else's melody, as long as it feels in rhythm with your own soul. So, there's no such thing as falling behind in life. The only reason you feel that way is because you're using someone else's ruler. But that ruler means nothing when applied to your journey. Remember, success isn't about hitting a standard timeline. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, day by day. And if today you can honestly say, "I've taken one small step forward compared to yesterday," then you're not behind at all. You're simply walking your own path. Now I want to ask you, what's one thing you're most proud of about yourself right now? Drop it in the comments below. It's not just a reminder for you, but also inspiration for others watching this video. And if you'd like to keep exploring more ways to live lighter and happier, don't forget to hit subscribe. Life has no single straight road. Your journey is unique, and you deserve to walk it at your own pace.